This is Things You Might Not Have Heard, and I am Jay Cleveland Payne, and today coming to you on this 17th of November, this Monday, here in Little Rock, Arkansas, 2025, if you will. Now, today we're going to have a little bit of a warning. We're going to go a little long on today's episode, and we go longer as well. I'm seeing things happening in the real time. We're doing something around with some technology, some things are weird, and just in case you're watching this in the vertical format on YouTube, know this works. Chances are we won't do it tomorrow. Playing around with the technology to make it work, see how it works going forward, and we're losing a bit in the background just to let you know. And so inside baseball and rambling will happen today. But right now, something that's sort of normal is telling you how we do things today for this. If you're new here, go along with it. If you're not new here, you'll see where the changes are. And let us know going forward. We are the Conversation Project, and this is your home for news, information, and pop culture references that we're chatting about. This thing here is called Things You Might Not Have Heard. It's a weekday morning sort of wrap up of the last days, Monday, the last weekends, sort of things. So it's things that basically already happened, things that people said after day. So 10 stories for the day because of the extra 2 days. So we're long anyway on that today. In the mix will be some Mamdani, which is actually some Donald Trump, Cardi B, do it Donald Trump, and Labubus, because unfortunately we just can't escape any of those. Plus, as you said, 7 other stories to round out 10 stories for. But check out our website. This is a conversationproject.com for more details on why we do this. There's a why behind this, and some of the background and stuff, plus origin story, and how the process, plus ways to keep us going, including partners and of course sponsors. Main sponsor we're talking about today, a new one, quite a new one. We're going to share some love with our More Better Media family, the large umbrella that gives us this project. Talk about the side project to be a part of this. The lessons of the day, and we'll get to that at the end of the show. So let's get into what's already a long intro. Will be a long day. Let's get this thing going right now. We're not talking Marjorie Taylor Greene and Trump because that story was really overplayed all weekend. Of course, if you've seen any of that, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump are now sort of in the out. Maybe they're back. Most of it's over Epstein. We'll talk more Epstein's things. The House has to have that vote for 6 days. Trump is actually planning to have a meet with his new nemesis, Mr. Mamdani, and he promises to work something out with the New York elect. Signaled a sort of peace with the New York Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani, saying that he's going to something out after campaign season and sharp attacks on him and back towards him. The outreach softens weeks of rhetoric that painted Mamdani as the foil for him. Both sides now emphasizing results for New York over the labels of communist, socialist, whatever, all this stuff. There's no date set, there's no time, no table, no meeting in work yet. The White House is hinting at a sit down that puts pressure on City Hall to find early so they can get that going on and get their concrete priorities really concrete as opposed to the wet type. Strategically, Trump is framing the meeting as a pragmatic operation that frames the hostile narratives into a governing test. Now, this may be a nicety going forward, or it may also be a trap. Remember when Vladimir Zelensky came to the White House in this normal sort of GI2 gear, and they dropped you're not holding cards thing, and then of course JD Vance was blasting at him. Found out that was all a work, which was interesting enough. That was set up literally hours ahead of time by Steve Bannon, but you never really know Mike's being unpredictable, like being able to shake things up. And the stakes right now are pretty big. If this works something out, we'll actually be working something out, so they'll be cordial. It'll be great if it works something out because he can embarrass Zoran Nami, or Nami actually gets up because he's been doing a lot of that. It may not be so great. You may have woken up Friday morning to a little banner saying your YouTube TV is coming back with Disney stuff. So look for the stuff. You may have watched a whole bunch of 2 weeks worth of things that were on DVR, or actually not DVR, actually on demand. So it means you have to watch all the commercials. But come Thursday and Friday, YouTube TV and Disney ended their 2 week blackout as ESPN and ABC stations returned to streaming for over the air, non cable cutter service because it's not over the air. Disney and YouTube TV struck this deal, so ABC, ESPN, FX, and all of the channels under the Disney umbrella were back after 2 week blackout with its sports and local news on this weekend. All the football that wanted to see was on ABC on Saturday. Standoff centered on per subscriber fees. And of course, neither side actually disclosed any pricing that we're changing. But they frame the deals as a value for the viewers. Essentially, we will win, except we won't because we'll pay more for it regardless. YouTube gave out bill credits, $20 bill credits to kind of alleviate the pressure going back and forth. While Disney was pushing viewers toward alternative providers and apps, just, to watch their stuff off of YouTube TV in the matter. Watch Force make good missed live sports inventory all over the place. Total ads be pushed into some things over the weekend. Those things have to be made good, so you'll see extra pushes for folks seeing those on the national level. In the meantime, your TV is back, more or less. Even though TV transmission and retransmission, as well, is dying. Watching it over at rabbit ears, watching it via a cable to your house or a satellite dish to your house is not the norm. It's not what's going to happen. There'll be more things like this based off your internet provider pushing your internet on top of that. And you'll see more of these fights go back and forth. Where carriages are now not the issues of the cable companies per se, but the streaming companies nowadays. Speaking of all the football we wanted to see, if you saw this one live, this was kind of a hoot. A Texas State trooper was actually pulled from duty in the middle of a game after shoving a guy inside the Texas A&M South Carolina game. Basically, the trooper was walking the tunnel as it was some Carolina players going by, and he was moved after making a forceful contact with one of the players in the tunnel at Kyle Field. Fire clips fueled fan outrage and a quick sent home decision. Supervisors came out there with more reviews coming. This episode spotlights sideline security protocols that can break down tight spaces and high emotion exits. Expect an updated crowd control guidance by A&M and state police ahead of rivalry weeks coming forward. Now, here's the deal. This is sports operations, and it's not just how things work. The blame on theirs. There's actually some real issues. As tunnels are kind of tight. Choke points, people going back and forth, and they can actually fix this. However, if you watch this, you saw this trooper just go on a sort of barrel into a bunch of players walking through the thing really tight. And he turns around and yells at the players and say, "No, my bad. Hey, no problem again, guys." It was I don't know if he was a little overly charged for A&M win this weekend or what, but it was something to see. The undocumented man who allegedly was aided by a Milwaukee judge to avoid arrest has now been deported. It's all said and done. Eduardo Flores Ruiz, the immigrant at the center of a high-profile case involving Judge Anna Dugan, was deported per DHS. The episode escalated into a national flashpoint after prosecutors said the judge helped him evade arrest at a courthouse. His removal doesn't end the legal story, though. The judicial misconduct case is still on place, and it's a separate track going forward. For policy watchers, people seeing how this thing can work out in the grand scheme of things, how oversight work, how it's work. This is where the sanctuary debates and the federal holds request will collide with the messy local ways things happen. This is why the local judge has her own case against the incident itself. Expect this to get really ugly right about now as both sides will weaponize the deportation as proof of principle of what's going on in this case. Before we take a break, we want to make sure we get the most important stories in before we pause. And guess what? Cardi B is important. Deal. She is welcoming her fourth child and her first with NFL star Stefon Diggs. We have a story that deals with Elon Musk later, and it's not about this, but hey, Cardi B is doing her best to live up to Elon's job of giving birth to lots and lots of babies herself. Although I don't think those are the babies he's looking for, but hey, she's doing her best to make it work. Cardi B gave birth to a baby boy, her fourth child, first with Stefon Diggs. Bills confirmed by a rep this weekend. Reveal paired life date with an album promo because she's Cardi. The now standard content strategy that she does. Choreographed brand integrations chapter arc are the best tour and world plans for going forward. Sports crossover because Stefon Diggs. And so there's a lot of stuff going on social media between Cardi B, Stefon Diggs, and a lot of folks in their lives. This is her first dig, so it's a big deal with that one. So we'll talk about that as well. But hey, congratulations, Mama. We hope you and baby do well, and we see you, of course, out there doing your thing because yes, it may be Beyonce's world, and it may be up to Swifties to make all the money, but Cardi B, she's got some say. This is the part where we do pause. We had 10 stories on the docket for today. 5 are down, 5 moving forward, and we are going long, so apologies for anybody here. This is normally a busy of a roll today. We pause in the middle of the presentation to ask you some favors. 3 in particular. We ask you to like the video you're watching right now. This one right here, you may be watching with us live, 5:42 a.m. right now, currently in Central Time, or you may be watching on the replay. Like this one here and all the videos. Share with like-minded people so that they can enjoy in on the news programming and the commentary as they're presented. The conversation will. And if you're not getting this natively feed, if you've got shared to you or a algorithm like you want to subscribe to it so you can get this now. Like the video, it tells me I'm doing good work. Here you go. If you like the video, it tells the algorithm that I'm doing good work and I should share it with more people as well. And of course, share with like-minded people into the fold. We like to see you subscribe to us, whether you're seeing this. This goes live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on X. Today on YouTube, we're doing the vertical and the horizontal. Let's see what that even does. One for it, but we'll see that different. But on X and Facebook, you can follow us along and see the news stories as we're presenting them, so you can help us pick them next day. We'll explain that towards the end as well. I look very long. Let's talk a little bit of hemp. The industry is now pushing back after Trump has signed a federal THC ban into law. A spending bill that ended the shutdown also had rep into it a hemp-derived THC product nationwide. Oh, sorry, let me read that properly. Also banned most hemp-derived THC product nationwide with a one-year runway for enforcement. So you have a year to figure out how to get hemp out of your stuff because it's going to be banned for 5 days from now. Growers and retailers warn that the $11 billion sector will be gutted. Lawyers are drafting state and federal challenges right now. Expect patchwork moves to reform this whole thing as zero THC claims are on their way, whether you like it or not. So pull out of this bill or some other bill forward. An aggressive retail education to buy time into keeping things going, running the clock down until they can fix something. Public health groups are split. Consumer safety wins versus prohibition whiplash fueling the illicit sale. There is issues with people getting around the corners and selling THC-based initiatives, THC-based products on the down low. It's not exactly good. However, there's legal THC, legal things out there. So avoiding any CBD ban shorthand because it's not that simple. But the target is actually THC, the intoxicating derived product. So we're looking for THC specifically. So don't get confused, although it may seem confusing. If you're a user of either CBD or THC, you might want to check in the laws in your local places. And this thing that opened up the government because apparently for some reason, open the government had a clause that you also had to get rid of in the process. 75 British MPs urged release and relocation of 15 Gen 2 penguins kept in a windowless enclosure at Sea Life London Aquarium because the subterranean habitat is un-British. Say operators say it's climate controlled and expert designed for the welfare, but people are like, dude, it's a refrigerator, there's no windows, there's no glass, let that out. Prime Minister office promised to review the standards added petition signatures are climbing past $37,000 at the time we pulled this article. Expect third-party audits and a fury of earned media attempts from animal rights groups and industry groups, both saying what they want to say. So it's penguin warfare. That's the word. The MP's letter is a big deal as this is basically seen as unhumane category, unhumane conditions for penguins. We'll see who will win out in the end. I promised you Elon Musk, and in that promise comes Billie Eilish. Both people I don't particularly care to talk about, but doing this here because you guys got into it. Billie Eilish went on a tirade last week about rich people holding money, and now she's going right at him specifically, calling him pathetic for hoarding wealth after becoming a trillionaire, fortune him another rant on global crises, direct aim at trillionaire status for anybody, including this guy, the first one. Clip detonated across social platforms, drawing predictable cultural reflections on tons of free speech talk, and of course, Musk didn't meaningfully fully engage, but the fans and detractors to frame the narrative basically did what they could to make the thing get worse. As a content strategy playbook, this may be exactly what you're looking for to get into Freddy. You have the moral framing of a villain versus the instance of what is good, like what it should be for. Instant magic distribution and pickup before. So we're talking about it. This is our tossing our hat into the ring to get a little bit of juice off it as well. As I said, not a fan of Billie Eilish, definitely not a fan of Musk, but hey, it's a good deal. He is a trillionaire, probably earned close to it, and then he got weird and is just ruining all our lives. Billie Eilish is a millionaire artist. She probably earned some of her accolades, and now she's kind of annoying. They annoy us together. It's not Maldoni and Lively, but hey, things up sometimes. Billie Eilish furthest I must would be some of the headline. Wow, or Eilish versus millionaires, trillionaires, whatever, billionaires. Wow, your mileage may vary. You wanted to talk about it. It was an extremely high uh, engaged story for the weekend. It was because I wanted no part of it. I also wanted no part of this one either. But like I said, I am a slave to the numbers, and you guys wanted to get in. Labubu, baby. Sony Pictures is developing a Labubu movie after securing the film rights. It is happening. The viral IP is developing a feature film with franchise ambitions. So Labubu 2, Labubu 3, Last War, whatever you're going to go to. As far as you make this thing happen, they can happen. It can happen. The toys, blind box culture, and six-figure whales are what's basically catnip for Barbie Lego style for pitch. If Barbie gets a movie, if Lego gets a movie, why can't the trolls? They have movies. Why not? The directors has not been made, no cast yet. Actually, no scripts, no animation, no hybrid live action plans. We just have the IP. It's coming. You can't stop it. Don't even try. Expect pop art and creator tags along to loom large in marketing with the designs for this one. It's going to be pretty good. The movies by Sony Pictures with all the rights and images and all the insanity that you would expect. Labubus, they're here. They're dear. Not away. Peter Thiel, not my friend, the radio guy, but Peter Thiel, the billionaire, is selling some major stock holdings, and it's going to cause some issues if people are thinking this may spark a tech bubble. Now, he exited his NVIDIA position, according to a fresh 13th disclosure, and a signal that some read as smart money de-risking peak AI. When big time people sell their stuff, they have to disclose it because it means make something's difference. And it's not so much any sort of insider or any sort of trading that gives you any insight, but you get to know if someone is selling a whole lot of stock, they usually believe something. Most times they're not just making, they just want to pull cash out of things. Sometimes it's like that, but you sell large chunks of it. It usually means you want to put it in something else that's more viable. Coverage pairs the sale of SoftBank unloading things in NVIDIA compounding is this the top shelf? Is this the top? Is NVIDIA and AI having up to hit a bubble at the bottom? Is the tanking of it? NVIDIA has been the darling of all sorts of stock portfolios for quite some time. I bought some in early on, or not actually not as early on as I should have into the buys. And so I've made some money on some NVIDIA on my own personal self. But when the guys who are in charge of these things, the AI itself, are starting to take some money off the table, you start to look and see whether it's going to slow down, whether they see it as a peak and they just need to let it chill, whether they're about to lose shirts and they want to pull out as possible. Skeptics are noting the timing and gamification of timing and portfolio rotation. Headlines move sentiment that marquee names tap out. When a big name jumps out, as I said, you have to wonder. So for the practical investor, read it like this. Watch implied volume and flows into AI adjacent small caps for confirmation, not the tweets, news guys, not the truth socials, not the stuff on TikTok. Look for how the numbers actually do report in the actual sales and the buys. Maybe some people will buy it because it'll get a little cheaper going forward. And you can make your own decision or with your broker. Your money may vary. Your money may vary. Your money may vary. As I say on another platform we have that's a part of More Better is very investment advice. Investment advice. You could lose money on these things. You can. In fact, you will lose some money in the process of back and forth. It's not always everything goes up. So remember, NVIDIA is being dropped by Peter Thiel in some sales, making some fears of an AI bubble bursting. Is it a real bubble? Will we see issues going back and forth? If you're in on the mix of NVIDIA or the AI type stocks, just keep an eye on the news, not so much the tick. So history isn't something that you just learn back in school. It's happening all around you every single day. But how is it impacting you from back in the day to today? Well, our project called historieseveryday.com is a website that brings you the past, brings to life by showing you the headlines of yesterday that shape the world we live in today. Some of those headlines are you know, bit out there. We talk about famous births, some people we lost today, and major milestones to forgotten moments and untold stories that sort of got missed, that forget forgotten after a few millennia. Every day has a story worth remembering. Today, history will be made. So, what history was made on this day in the past? It's great for trivia lovers, for lifelong learners, and people who want to get what do you know. And this is a daily reminder that history matters. And what's being done today is as important as what's been done tomorrow. Now, we have various ways to pick up on this. You can go to our website, History is Every Day. You see a picture of it right now if you're watching this video. We have the daily newsletter, which gives you 12 history lessons per day, 7 people born and 7 people who pass away on every single day. This Day in History video podcast lives on YouTube, and it gives you 3 history lessons, 3 people born, 3 people passed on the. You get that in your feed for YouTube every single day. And of course, our history takes. We every week or so, and we're a couple weeks behind, we'll give you a couple news takes on things that are happening now and compare them going forward. We talked a lot about shutdowns. We talked about how presidents have passed. We talked about my favorite one, the first one we did because when the concept came to me, how Ric Flair and Ben Franklin are the same guy. Check it out at our website, historyseveryday.com, historyseveryday.com, and sign up for the newsletter via email, or figure out how to subscribe to the video podcast via YouTube, or look for the hotter takes, our history takes, as well happening on YouTube as well. Our home online for this project, a part of the More Better Media empire, is this is a communication project. Our email address for this project, conversation inbox at gmail.com. We talk about all things this project. Join us there for all the chit chat going forward. Tell me if I went too long. Answer that question. Yes. Tell me if I have the right batch of stories. Hopefully they answer the questions. Yes. Tell me what we can do better in the future. Just tell me going forward. We have what we call the feeds, all feeds, Facebook and X, where we have our link feeds. Every single weekday morning, all day, all night, approximately every 50 minutes or so, we will put out a link to various news stories, get you a chance to engage. Show you what we can possibly talk about going forward. It's pretty simple. So as you engage in them, as you say thumbs up, heart, whatever you want to do on those things, we log in score in the morning about 3:30 in the morning. We pull them down and see what happens. So about 30 hours of action time from the midnight prior to the 3, 4 hours going forward. And we will tell you see on stories that are engaging, plus whatever's breaking, whatever's new, whatever's kind of out there at the moment. Follow us on those feeds, Facebook and X, and you can help us join us as well. Meantime, join us on YouTube because that's where the bread and butter is made. Um, Monetization there helps us not ask for much weight sponsors. although you can go to our website and business as well. We wrapped up the show for this Monday, November 13th, November 17th, 2025. My name is Jake Payne. Thanks for being with us for today. I'm not sure how this vertical format looks. My replay I have to my left happens to be your um, landscape view. So I don't know exactly how it's looking. Look at the queue, so it's there going forward. I'm not sure how this working. I'm not sure we're going to do it tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. We also lose inside baseball stuff. We lose the ability to record the whole scene with the clips, with the video, and the actual scenes. We can cut things out in the future, other than what we get from the StreamYard thing. So since I don't have an archive of it, it's also suck in that in as well. So we'll see how that works as well. Also, sometimes there's a sync issue with the camera screens. This may work out, maybe better, but the whole point was to move to bigger cameras. We should enough of that. We've gone very long today. Thank you so much. If you watched this live today, I appreciate that. If you did not watch it live today, let me know where you're watching this from and how you're watching this in the replay, and we will do what we can to take account your 5:30 a.m. Central is an early hit, to be honest. So unless you're up, getting ready, get the kids up, getting ready for early work, school, it may be hard. But the news stories we talk about are conversational all day long. So look for some hot takes as we put them in there. But we do our best to have the conversation stuff with you as we can. Love you. Mean it. We out of this thing.